Hey everyone, it's Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. I am quite good. I am back from my travels in Houston. I'm back. I'm physically fine, but you know, Kansas State loses 24-19 at Houston. Congratulations to Willie Fitz and his Cougars. They did what I feared they might do because that dude can coach. They beat the Cats. So I don't want to take anything away from them, but we cover Kansas State. So today we're going to break in to the offensive stats from Big 12 play only. We're going to get in there and drill down. And is it as bad as some of you think? Or is it maybe okay? Maybe not what you would want, but not as bad as you thought. We're going to get into all that. It's going to be an interesting week. We've got a lot of topics to cover. First, your reminder to please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the thumbs up. Leave those comments. We're trying to get to 15K by the end of football season. If you're not subscribing, please do. We do this on the daily. Okay, so I've heard a lot of feedback about that loss, and some of you want blood. I understand the anger. I don't understand exactly what I saw, but some of you want changes in the play calling. Okay, or the play caller. A little early for that because the stats don't indicate that. And we're going to get into just the raw numbers right now. Here we go. First one up. This is scoring per game in Big 12 play only. I wanted that set of parameters, just Big 12 play. Kansas State's eighth, right in the middle, 29.2 points per game. But yards, which is interesting, they're actually fourth at 427.8. So they're not scoring enough compared to the yards. But I also want to point out that the way the statistics are compiled, they don't break out scoring defensively, special teams, and offensively. They should, and we know that Kansas State's had some of those scores. There was, pick six. There's been a kick return, a punt return, a scoop and score, and the safety against Kansas. There's been some non-offensive points, so the scoring might be actually lower than 8, but scoring is scoring at the end of the day. And but the yards per play, Kansas State drops to 6th at 6.3. Rushing overall in this conference, they're 7th at 190.3. It's a lot of numbers. You thought I was going to memorize these? Rushing per play, they're 4th at 5.2. And that's come down, as you realize. They've had 2 out of 3 kind of stinkers running the ball. Passing, they're 9th at 237.5. Would you have guessed that K-State's passing game is in the middle of the Big 12? I would have thought it'd been lower than that, I'll be honest. But passing per completion, yardage per completion, okay, is 10th at 7.5. So they're putting some numbers up, but they're maybe throwing shorter passes to do so. Okay. Red zone offense. Kansas State is 3rd in the conference. They've scored 95.2% of the time. That's 20 out of 21. What's also interesting is the top 2, I think Tech and I know KU's the other one, are perfect. They've scored every time they've entered the red zone this season. KU's scoring a lot of touchdowns. And that might be an indicator of how stats don't always tell you the whole story. So that's the red zone. And let's move on to time of possession, which has always been a valuable measurement at Kansas State. Actually, K-State has increased this from the non-conference, which is very telling, maybe, that they've changed how much they're scoring and attacking. They're 5th in the conference at 31 minutes and 2 seconds per game. At least that's what I wrote down. I don't know if that matches here. But I just thought all that was interesting. It indicates an offense that's pretty middle of the road in this league. And if Kansas State is seeing itself as a team that should be in the upper quarter, at least the top 4, then they're falling short of that consistently offensively. Now, defensively, they do better, so it raises the whole value of the team up. Offense is lagging a little bit behind defense, and we'll get into a bunch of other topics that need to be addressed. But I wanted to wrap up this daily delivery with a stat that is completely disassociated from everything I just said, because I can't explain it. I can't not explain this one. If you understand this, please put something down there in the comments explaining why this stat could be this way without a conspiracy theory. Because look, I like conspiracy theories. Okay, I believe it. But, is there something I'm missing here? And my conspiracy theory is not right. Opponent penalties. Opponent penalties in Big 12 play. So the 6 opponents K-State has played in Big 12 play averaged 3.5 penalties per game for just 24.2 yards. Is that right? That is dead last in the Big 12. K-State opponents are getting the least amount of penalties called on them and yardage assessed against them in Big 12 play. By far. Utah's 15th. They averaged 33.4 and 4.8. So more than one more penalty and almost 10 more yards in opponent penalties, between 15 and 16. Number 1 is Colorado and 2 is Iowa State. They're both at 7.4 penalties per game, more than twice, more than double the number of penalties being called against Kansas State's opponents, for 65.6 and 65.2 yards. So their yardage is more than double. It's a weird one. I can't figure it out. So we'll boil down more stuff. There's no press conference this week. That was pre-planned. No conspiracy there. The whole staff and players are taking the week off from us. Worked out well for them. But we'll keep talking K-State football all week. And oh yeah, you might want to check out the Insiders. It goes live tonight, Monday night, at 6 p.m. We're going to have an all-star cast, and we are going to get into this quite a bit. That's on the Insiders. Live at 6. Of course, replays will be available at GoPowercat. Thank you for watching the DD.